7% that actually get clean. Nobody's addressed the trauma that was driving the addiction in the first place. You see, this is why the addiction medicine community and 12-step and AA are all complete failures. Not a single one of them even addresses the trauma that is driving the addiction. Right? I remember going into therapy and addiction medicine specialists for God knows how many years, and not a single one of them even considered that trauma was driving the addiction. Right? And no sooner did I get into an environment where there's no abusers, then all of my addictions and traumas vanished, evaporated, right? Evaporated. That's all it took, was to get into a high-frequency environment. And if you're a Blu-ray, that's all it takes to get a high-frequency environment. If you're in an environment where you're being scapegoated or abused or whatever, every single day of your life should be about getting the hell out of it. Right? Because we have a mission to complete. We don't have time for this bullshit. Right? So forget about the addiction medicine specialists and the AA and all this other garbage. It's useless. It's completely useless, right? Heal the trauma that's driving the addiction. The addiction will disappear, and so will the entity. And how do you heal the addiction? How do you get rid of the entity? The 7-step ascend the frequencies healing technique that's outlined in the book Supercharged Self-Healing. The 7-step ascend the frequencies healing technique, which we are all going to be experts in. Right? That book is the freaking Bible of healing. There's no other book that even comes close. I've read everything. Bessel van der Kolk, freaking Pete Walker's CPTSD from so all of them are great books, all of them are wonderful, but none of them get to the freaking root of the issue. None of them get to the root of the trauma. They talk about the trauma. See, now here's the deeper issue. The trauma that's being suffered is not your trauma, it's the ego mind identity's trauma. All disharmony belongs to that false character, because the I am can never be traumatized. The I am can never be victimized. The I am can never be touched. The issue is our false identification with the fake character. Our issue is our fake character and all of its stories of disharmony and trauma and abuse and all that stuff. Because when you are present, right, when you activate the weapons of the 144, which are detachment, presence, and surrender, which activates your higher intuitive function, you see that what you are, I am, can never be traumatized or victimized. Right? It is the loving awareness of everything that's happening. This character is just one that you're playing, and God knows how many thousands of incarnations. I want you to always remember that. It makes no sense to get enmeshed with this character. Right? For those of us who got enmeshed with this character, this false character, right, and misidentified ourselves as the character instead of the awareness of the character and all of everything that's happening in the character's life. Those of us who got enmeshed with our character and its deeds and its doings, and then felt ashamed when the character did something bad, and felt prideful and arrogant when the freaking character did something good. We were the highest risk for entity attachments and addictions. Right? Because we bought the negative ego that came from the projections of the scapegoating family. Right? The scapegoating narcissistic family. They project all of their darkness on you, you absorb it like it's your own, and then you identify with it. And what happens? The five common symptoms of CPTSD, which I'm going to go over next Wednesday with my friend Helena. One of our Heyoka High Priestesses is going to come on the channel, and we're going to go over all that stuff. We're going to go over how to escape the satanic matrix. And she's a freaking brilliant Heyoka High Priestess. Very, very advanced soul. I want to say thank you to Shelley Rhodes, Azilla Lopez, James Saunders, Andrew Boyd, Dominic Turr, Jessica Starstrong, who we love. Jessica, you're the best. Laura Record, who's Warrior Mom. We love you, Laura. Freaking just keep raging, give them hell. Amber Dawn, my dear friend Amber Dawn. Kimmy K. Davis, Kim Cozy Davis. Super Freak. The Mad Norseman, Naomi Schwan, who I'm going to be talking to later this week. My best friend Suzanne Clary. Stevie Stokes, who I'm going to be talking to later this week. Again, the Mad Norseman, who we call the Happy Norseman now. Tequila Robinson. Don't forget to pick up your Chosen 144 here. Right? Dude, the Chosen 144 are freaking rising like never before. Somewhere, there's a hater that's glued to the TV and freaking dying. Wishing that Pete Zappa would go away. Wishing the 144 would just die, right? Now, the reason that Pete Zappa's still here and the reason the 144 will never go away is because of you. Because of you. Right? Never ever give a Heyoka. Fucking never be out hating on a Heyoka, dude. You're hating on a Heyoka is always going to have the opposite effect. I mean a real Heyoka, not an empath refuge Heyoka, or a fake Heyoka like you. Alright, back to the real Heyokas. Entities and addictions. There's always trauma that is driving an addiction. I have never ever met somebody who had a hardcore addiction, who was a long-term addict, that was not completely traumatized. Right? So epic failure of the medical healthcare system. And remember, this healthcare system, this sick care system, including the addiction specialist, the 12-step and AA, all that stuff is freaking set up by the Matrix. It's the perfect design to keep people fragmented, traumatized, and in survival mode. And you see, if you keep people traumatized, fragmented, in a survival mode, they can never realize the self, right? You see, to self-realize, to realize that I am, the mighty I am that you are, the true self, for the true self to be born, you have to be in a calm, relaxed, detached, present, and surrendered state. And you can't do that when you're just barely getting by, barely trying to survive. Now, the pressure that is coming from the Matrix, the reason that they're pumping the food shortages and the inflation and prices going up and all this garbage, the scarcity vibes, pumping scarcity. This is all the Matrix kind of keep you in survival mode, trying to keep you locked in your lower chakra so that you don't awaken, so that you never realize the self, so that you stay broken and fragmented, traumatized. Right? The trauma-based mind control, the predictive programming, the freaking revelation of the method. Right? Again, more content, more things that you'll never hear Christina Lopes talk about, or anybody with 500,000 followers or 1 million followers. If those words ever come out of their mouth, they're going to be freaking shadow banned. Right? But a Heyoka doesn't give a fuck about shadow ban. Who are the real Heyokas? It's always been fucking obvious who the real ones are. Once they detox you from the addiction, that's great, but guess what? The entity's still attached, right? Now, if you don't know that, and if you don't understand that raising your frequency, using the 7-step ascending frequency healing technique is the freaking way to go, you're just going to have that addiction and that entity are going to come right back every single time. Right? So the 7-step ascending frequency healing technique, which we're all going to learn, all Heyokas are going to learn, because once a Heyoka is armed with that knowledge, there's nothing they can't do, nobody they can't heal. Coaching opens in June. For those who can't afford coaching, go into the description, use the Wizard service. I'll make you a customized video. Psalm 23. Over and over again, I've said Psalm 23 is the freaking Bible verse of the 144. Read Psalm 23 and listen to what King David, the psalmist David, wrote. Get to know that Bible verse like the back of your hand, because it's coming to fruition now. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You shall not want, because all your needs will be provided for. Right? Once you realize who you are. A table, a feast being prepared in front of your enemies. And guess who's preparing that feast? RJ Spina. Tomorrow, Wednesday, RJ Spina's doing a free call where he's going to teach us the manifestation magic tricks. He's going to teach us something like the 7-step ascending frequency healing technique for manifesting money. And this is where we become financially independent. One of the worst nightmares of the narcissistic abusers, the scapegoaters, and of the abusive system. Right? The abusive system that's constantly trying to keep you in survival mode, locked in your lower chakras, barely getting by, barely surviving, so that they can control and manipulate you and make you dependent on them. It's never going to happen to the 144. So tomorrow, Wednesday, My teacher, RJ Spina, is going to be doing a money manifestation course. And we're all going to learn that just like we learned the 7-step ascendant frequency healing technique. There's also a link in the description to pre-purchase the book Change Your Mind, which is all about deprogramming the subconscious mind, getting all of the loser beliefs out of there that were installed by this sick satanic matrix, and the ones that we got from our infected families, lineages, which we're all going to clear. Now, I wanted to make something clear. You're going to see this in a video that RJ did a little bit later, but I'm gonna give you a preview of it. Becoming a master of the 7-step ascendant frequencies healing technique means not only do you heal yourself, but in healing yourself using the 7-step ascendant frequencies healing technique and maintaining your frequency, right? Bringing your frequency to its natural state, and a rising tide lifts all ships. Not only do you freaking become a frequency holder that lifts the vibration for everyone and everything in your vicinity, but you clear the entire ancestral line. The entire ancestral line is made whole and complete and perfect because of you. That's what it means to be chosen. And that's what I mean by who are the real Heyokas? It's gonna be fucking obvious. Please go into the description and look for the link to RJ Spina's money manifestation. He's gonna do a free live call tomorrow. And if you haven't joined the money manifestation Facebook group, please do. I don't know what you're waiting for. That's gonna be our focus for the next probably 90 days. Is securing our financial freedom. Understanding how to magnetize money, how to command abundance with our state of being. That's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to learn I am commands spoken directly from the miracle machine, which will command riches to you, command abundance to you. You will command riches, not by working or doing. You will call them to you by your state of being. Because that's what a freaking Heyoka, a chosen one, a 144 light worker can do. That's because we're so freaking powerful, right?